Hey, what's up? Justin here, and what I wanted to talk about today is inspiration. So if we start with the thought or the idea that everything we experience is actually happening inside our own minds, then maybe we can be inspired in a way where we can live lives to our greatest potential and we can see the best in ourselves and others. An example of this thought is maybe the idea of someone getting a phantom limb. So this is when someone has a limb cut off for some reason and they can actually still feel their limb. Maybe they can get an itch or something on their arm if their arm's been removed. And the reason for that is because it's still happening inside their own minds and their consciousness hasn't actually caught up to the physical world where they don't actually have an arm. So if you think of this way of thinking as a way of maybe externalizing our own consciousness into a way where we can create new and better realities, we can level up mentally and we can create peace in the external world because we have peace in our own minds, then maybe this is a way where we can be inspired because we have complete control over what we're going through and we have complete control over our own psyche and consciousness in the way that we meditate and we have certain beliefs, thoughts and aspirations. Our feelings are going to affect our thoughts most of the time, but our thoughts can also affect our feelings. If we go for a jog maybe you've been running, a great example of digging deeper into our own minds for inspiration is when we're running. When we're running, it's a physical pursuit. However, sometimes we can actually do a lot more than we think we're physically capable. And while we're running and we're going through all the pain, we actually have to dig deep into our own psyche, and then you almost kind of go on these cool psychological journeys, digging around in your own mind for every single source of inspiration you can find. Maybe it'll be through everyone who's ever believed in you. Maybe it'll be through all the pain that you've ever gone through, or maybe it can go through some experience that you've had in the past that has just inspired you and you've maybe had some kind of epiphany to go out and try and live your best life and inspire others, and you just have to remember that in order to get through those moments of pain while you're jogging, to dig through and level up mentally. If we're inspired by everything that's ever happened to us that's good, or the fact that we get to live in this beautiful society, in this beautiful time period while we're here on earth, then we can be inspired in a way where we can see the best in others, and that's going to create a circle of inspiration. And really what it comes down to is optimism. I don't see people necessarily as everyone's just a person, everyone's just trying to get through the day. I'm always trying to see what the creative potential is of someone, and you don't have to communicate it that you have belief in someone, because that's almost like saying that you don't have belief in them, because if you did you wouldn't have to say it. You just have to believe deep down that people have creative potential. And it comes down to really, maybe even deeper on a spiritual level, that there is some kind of purpose or plan for the world, and the world is heading towards something. It feels a little bit like we're on this conveyor belt of progress at the moment. So there's a lot of issues going on in the world and a lot of things that aren't really in harmony with nature and are not going towards creating world peace. But if we can believe maybe that all the change in the earth formations and all the existence of culture and art and philosophy and education and society and all the different types of pursuits that people have is maybe leading to something, and some kind of heaven on earth, you could maybe even say, then we can maybe look at that as a way of an optimistic way of thinking and a way of seeing the best in each other and ourselves and living a life of inspiration.